Okay, Lions rookie mini camp. We're looking at Josh Paschal. This guy is going to be really good for us, Craig. And just some of the early things that we're seeing. I'm going to kick it to you. What are some things that we're seeing? What are we hearing about Josh Paschal, and what is he even saying? Like, good things are coming from him. What do you got for us?
Yeah, I think the for starters here is we can expect good things out of him. He was a second round pick. So
Absolutely.
it's not like it would be heavy on the Kool-Aid here because we think he's good. But I'm going to give you a couple reasons right now why I think he is good. His athletic and measurables were not as good, but comparable in the way in which he measured to Trayvon Walker. That's
Mm-hmm.
the dude that went number one. Remember the guy Jacksonville took ahead of Aiden Hutchinson. So we got Hutchinson. We come back in the second round. We get Paschal. And what I think is so awesome about this is they had similar measurables. They played in the same conference, but Paschal like significantly outstatted him. And part of that you can say is the team they played on, but and the scheme in which they played in. But my goodness, this guy he put up some good stats in college, and he put up some good film too.
Yeah, and that's what's interesting to us is I think we liked the Trayvon Walker mold. I think we like that big guy can kind of get pressure from the interior, could be an
Yeah.
outside edge setter guy. So it's like I definitely thought, man, Trayvon Walker, I was interested in him. And then boom, we get that same guy. You could
Yes.
argue could be better in the second round. And what I love is when you talk about the Georgia defense, like you made that comment about, and you're so right. Like Georgia defense, it's hard to kind of evaluate these guys, but he was on the D line, so he's like the first in. So, like if you're a safety, if you're Lewis Seen and you're not getting the tackles, it's like, well, no crap, nobody's getting through that Georgia defense. But he's right up there on the defensive line. He should get more sacks. He should get some more things happening, and it's not impacted by the defense as a whole. Whereas, yeah, Pascal's at Kentucky doesn't have the supporting cast. He's still
No.
able to get in, make things happen. He's getting double teamed. He's getting focused on, and he's
Yes.
still getting the stats and better stats than Trayvon Walker.
Yeah, he is. He's getting better stats. And like you said, he is getting double teamed and he is the focus. And when he's out, that defense is garbage, by the way. That
Mm-hmm.
defense really struggled when he wasn't playing. He was an anchor on that defense, which says something at about 272, which I think is what he weighed in at. To be an anchor at that, there has to be some serious strength there. And this is one of those things where he's completely different than Hutchinson. He's that big defensive end. He can set, like you said, set the edge in the run game, but he can get pressure on the quarterback on the inside. He's not the guy who's going to bend around the corner. Like, I know me and you like that word bend and it's important to us, but I got a quote for you. You ready
Yeah.
for this from day one of the rookie minicamp? He said, I think I fit as that guy, a big defensive end. He said, that's what we're calling it. I love this. He's like, that's what we're calling it. I feel like I can play across the front, but particularly on the edge, or even if I need to kick inside for the run game, I can do that too, and for the pass game. So basically, what he's saying is he's going to be all over the place on the defensive line. He thinks he's best on the edge, which tells me he wants to be on the edge to either set it for the run or rush the passer on the inside from the edge. But he feels like he can move all over the line, and that's what they want him to do. That's
Yeah, and
helpful.
it's interesting because we've been saying it over and over. We really, really want to be able to get pressure with four, and you can't just
Yes.
have four rush ends, on the field at all times because teams will just run against you. So you've got this guy
Yeah.
that can play the run and play and get after the passer, and that's what Aleem McNeil is doing. That's what other guy Levi's
And
doing.
Uzurike, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I can't think of the D tackle that we had in the Patricia era, the big guy that was just terrible, but he was just a
Snacks? Harrison?
no, 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 that's a good one too, but
Snacks.
I can't think of his name.
He hated that nickname, by the way.
Yeah, there was another
He
guy that was just a
absolutely hated it,
big
and here I
dude.
am not helping you think of a D
No, that's
tackle,
fine. It
sorry.
was just a big dude that just had no. It's like, are you good on the run? Are you good? Like, what are you doing? And then we had a lot of those guys in the Patricia era that were just run stuffers or just,
Sure.
hold off blocks. And I just don't think that's how the NFL works anymore. When it was, you're running the wing T and yeah, clog up the middle. But man, we're all spaced out. We got to get in there. So it's like, this is not 1970s football anymore, man. This is like you
No.
got to get to Aaron Rodgers. You can't, and you got to play coverage behind it. So you can't blitz every play. You can't, but you also can't rush three and that's what we did. Patricia let them just let Aaron Rodgers figure it out after 10 minutes. He'd be like, oh, there's a guy down there I'll throw it to. It's like
Yeah, I'll
we
throw
are
it to
gonna,
him.
yeah, we'll make things happen this year and in the future with some hopefully explosive D linemen. And again, I don't want to be drinking the Kool-Aid, but I also, it's like, this is a second round guy that's like, man, this dude's gonna be good. So
Yeah.
like, I
He
don't,
should be. He should
yeah,
be at least competing for a starting job with the other two defensive tackles that, I mean, and Brockers is in there too.
yep.
So he's not going to be a starter, but he will play a large amount of snaps. I think he plays at least a third of the snaps this year. And I think the reason I say that is when you talk about the rush, all right, you like to go to Aaron Rodgers, right? Which makes sense. We see him twice a year. If all you're doing is getting pressure off the edges, what's Aaron Rodgers doing in the pocket? He's stepping up,
Stepping up.
right? And he's hitting a receiver, no problem. If you don't get pressure up the middle, if you don't get pressure up the middle as well as around the outside, you're not going to stop any quarterback in this league. Well, maybe a couple, right? But you just step up in the pocket, almost helps him get in rhythm. You come
That's
off
right.
the edge. So if you don't have that pressure from the inside, you're going to have a big struggle. So what I like about this is I think that Josh will be a problem up the middle for us. And I can see him with Hutchinson running stunts and doing all that kind of stuff that I think would be shockingly helpful. I
Oh yeah.
really, really do. You put Hutchinson's going to be on the edge. He's going to be on the edge, but you have a guy like Paschal that can play in the middle. He's versatile. I really like what he can do, and he's strong.
Versatility, explosiveness, guys that love
Yep.
football. I mean, look, we know other teams are doing the same thing or trying to do the same thing, but we are very consistent in the guys that we're getting, the plan. It just seems to be making
Yeah.
sense. Again, we always are going to go on a little Kool-Aid check here and there, but we are very excited about him. And I think it's going to be a great formula to have our defensive line getting pressure and up the middle and around the edges. So make sure you
I agree
subscribe.
with that.
Yeah, go
I
ahead.
agree with let me just say this
Yeah, hit
too.
that.
Like I get the Kool-Aid check thing, and I appreciate you saying that. And like I was trying to Kool-Aid check myself with Malcolm Rodriguez, right?
Mhm.
And I was trying to Kool-Aid check myself on a few of these other picks. And the truth is there are picks that I'm not super high on yet. I'm not super high on the safety out of Illinois yet, Joseph. I'm not there with
No.
him yet. I don't
Tight
think there's
end.
enough on film. I'm not super high on Houston yet, even though he just was a stat monster
Mhm.
last year. And I'm definitely not high on Lucas out of Arizona State, the cornerback. So, I mean, like, there are 3 picks that I really just don't like that much. So, I mean, like, Houston, I like the pick. I'm just not high on him yet. I
Yeah.
like the pick in the 6th or 7th round, whatever it was, because why not? you know,
Yep.
why not take a flyer on a guy that produced? But like, I appreciate the Kool-Aid check, but I think with a 2nd round pick, it better be good. And I will say this: the Detroit Lions seemingly are cursed with 2nd round defensive picks lately.
Mm.
So I would love to see Levi and I would love to see Josh just kind of break out and get us out of that 2nd round defensive slump we've been in over the last 5-6 years.
Absolutely.
So
We have not hit on a second round. Just would love to find a stud out in
I
the
think it started
second
with Tease
round.
Tabor.
Oh, Tease Tabor, Jordan dies on. I mean, there's
Jordan
some
Dizon is the real OG 2nd round bust.
oh my, I mean, when we were like, we're okay. Wow, we had a lot of tackles at
Purdue
Colorado.
or
He's not,
Colorado, yeah, whatever it was.
yeah, he's not very big or fast, but
Oh,
man, I mean,
he's
that's
not
why I hope
fast.
Malcolm Rodriguez is not like. So yeah, we're always
Malcolm Rodriguez is fast.
yeah, we're excited, and you should be too, and it's just good stuff coming. So yeah, make sure you subscribe, and we will see all of you on the next one.